Yeah, morning everybody. Well, we've had a bit of an emergency, to say the least. When we arrived, we had absolutely, for 2 days, a big storm. Winds up to 90 miles an hour. And what I think has happened is the wind and the rain have dislodged some of the tiles on the roof, and it poured in the Jeep bedroom, which is no good. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get up to the top of the roof, clear all the first row of tiles off, because I think that's where the problem is coming from. The rain's getting in at the top, running down the inside, hitting the beams in the Jeep bedroom, and then pouring in. So I need to clear all the tiles back, and I've bought some tarpaulins which are 8 meters by 5 meters. I'm going to put those down underneath the very top tiles of the roof, and then relay the tiles on top of them. Hopefully that will solve the problem for now. So that's my job today. I've cobbled together some ladders from the scaffold, and I'm going to have to move the tiles, and then see what I can do. It's not going to be easy to film, but I'll do the best I can. Okay, talk to you in a while. Cheers. Well, I've got up as far as the chimney, and as I've always suspected, most of the problems are coming from this area. And what you can see here is a big damp patch where water's obviously poured in, and the beams start around here somewhere, one of the main beams anyway. So I think it's coming down this gully, and it's not going down this plastic to take it down to the bottom of the roof, and that's where it's pouring in. So that's one problem I'm going to have to deal with. I'm still going to go to the top and try. It's all down this side where we get the leak. We don't get it over there, and it's all down this side down towards the chimney, including in the on the landing. So I'm going to remove all these tiles, put the tarpaulin down, and work my way back down, and lay the tiles back on again. So I'll keep filming as and when I can. Okay everybody, thanks. Well, here's another damp patch where the water's getting in. We don't seem to have any leaks on that side of the Jeep roof, but you never know, it could be going down, hitting the beam and running along. So yeah, again, I'm going to cover this with tarpaulin. I intend to tuck it underneath here, work my way down. It's quite a big sheet, so it isn't going to be easy, and tuck it under here, lay the tiles on top, and hopefully it will seal any leaks. This is a new roof that was already on when we bought the house, and it goes down and it covers, well, a third of the sheet. I just wish it had gone the whole way, but hey oh, it is what it is. So I've made a path, I've stacked the tiles. I'm going to use all the best tiles I've got to start with, and I may even have to make a mix of cement to seal some of these up here. Wouldn't you know it, no rain forecast, and what's it doing? Raining. So I've come down for a while. Hopefully it won't last long. It's quite bright, and there's some blue sky over there, so hopefully it'll pass over pretty quick, and then I'll get back up there. Okay, there's always something. Well, as you can see, it's moving on. I'm really trying to get them as straight as possible, and in the correct position to match everything else, so there's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be watertight. But yeah, it's slow progress. It has rained, didn't last very long, so I'm back up here and try and do a bit more. Talk to you in a while. So the way you do this, I've found, is when you look at the tile, it's got a narrow end and a wide end. And when you're putting down, let's say the channel ones, you do it with the narrow end pointing down the roof, not like this one is. So you turn it around, try to line it up with the one before, and then continue with the next row, slotting them into place. Let's move some of these out of the way. And then when you put the top ones on, they slot inside, covering both sides so that any water pours down into the gully. And you continue doing that. Again, trying to keep them all in line with each other. And it's a long process, but it soon comes together. Well, it's 3:30. I've had enough. It's starting to rain again, though I don't think it's going to last very long. This is how far I've got, and this is how far I've got to go. So I'm not far off, halfway. What I've decided is where the tiles are a different colour and then they go down that line there really to the pipe, I'm going to leave that side alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What I'm going to do tomorrow is just carry on down that line, down to the bottom, and all the way across. So it's raining. I doubt it'll drip inside, but yeah, it's a hard job. The hardest part is getting them straight all the time. You can never get them perfect, but yeah, keeping them straight is a bit of a challenge. But anyway, let's see what happens. I'm going for a coffee and a shower because I've had enough. Talk to you tomorrow. Cheers. Try to use the really wide ones. Some are wider than others. I mean, these are all individually made up. I think, you know, they're not mass produced. Some of the newer ones obviously are, but what I try to do is the wider ones I like to use on the top, because they then cover both tiles underneath like that. So I've got to the point now where I need to tuck the next layer of lining underneath here, so I don't want to go too far. So to be able to do that, I need to move about 4 or 5 rows of these tiles further down or up out of the way so I can get the lining down. and this part is always the pain. Where do you put all these tiles? There's so many bits of broken tiles which are neatly stored in the skip. Anyway, I don't think all this moss has helped in any way with the water. It comes down, it has nowhere to go, so it overflows and then goes inside the sheet. So it's good that I'm being able to clear it all off. I know when I get near to the end I'm going to be short of tiles, and I have got some in the garden which I'll be able to use, but each tile costs about $1, a pound, €1, just under. So they're not that expensive, so if I need 10 or 20, we're talking £20, and you know, it's not the end of the world, is it? But do this little section here, and then I'll go and get the liner for the next section, which hopefully will take me down to the bottom. Be nice to get it done today. I've had enough. Well, it's taken 3.5 days to complete. One or two little hiccups on the way, but overall it's just a long, monotonous job. But it absolutely poured it down yesterday from about 12 o'clock lunchtime until midnight, and not one single drop of water came in the house. So the liner I've put down all the way from the top, which in total I think is around, it's going to be 16 metres, has done its job. And there was a bit of liner underneath that I put in a couple of years ago, and I've just put this new one on top. But it did its job. So I'm calling this job finished. I'm going to go for a coffee and then get on with the next job. I'm so pleased to have this done and no water coming in.